Hello, and welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I know it has been quite some time, that is for sure. Now, I am going to have to just make sure everything is working okay. Lighting is already a bit insane. But I might have to tweak some things, because I haven't really messed with anything since I last streamed. So I'm hoping everything's coming through alright. Talk about the glare, I know, right? When I get close, it's alright. I think it's because of this white background. Welcome in, Radar, as well, and hey, Az, how you guys going? It's good to see you guys. Hope you guys are doing good. I know it's been ages. I've just been in my cave doing my thing. But yeah, I thought I'd jump on today and do a short stream. I've been meaning to, like, every day for the last weeks. I just keep putting it off. But yeah, thought I'd jump on, catch up, maybe play a couple of games. I'm thinking what I'm going to do today, and it's kind of related to what I've been doing as well. Hopefully Adventure works. Yes, it does work. Damn, so close. But yeah, what we are going to be doing today is I'm going to go through and play through a couple of roguelike games like Vampire Survivors like games, a couple of those new sort of genres that come out recently. Things like Halls of Torment, Mega Bonk, Vampire Survivors. There's also Death Must Die as well. Haha, Death Must Die. But we're going to be playing through a couple of them today. I've been wanting to for a while. They're games I played ages ago and messed around a bit. The reason being is I've actually started developing a game myself. And that's what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, is kind of planning that together. And I kind of want to shift the streaming potentially into being able to do development of the game on stream, so I can just plug away at it. And I'm currently just in the stage of just developing the early sort of foundation of the game. So I've got a couple more things to kind of figure out before I'm like completely happy with it to just be spending heaps of time working on it. But once it gets to that point, I just kind of want to be able to stream and just work on assets and just keep developing it, because it's a project that, you know, realistically will take about, like, ideally less than a year to make. Who knows? I want it to be less than a year for sure. But the main concept of the game is very similar to a lot of roguelikes and Vampire Survivor games. You know, it takes that sort of classic roguelike sort of progression in arenas and just does a bit of a twist with it. So something really basic, something that I can develop by myself. I've spent a long time trying to figure out, like, what I can do. I'm not a great artist. That's the one thing I mainly don't know much about. So finding something that I can, like, do my own art for, that's doable and isn't out of scope. Feature creep is real and it can hurt you. Yeah, exactly. So I'm starting really simple with a sort of, yeah, like an arena based roguelike, you know, where you go into an arena, you fight waves of enemies, you level up, and as you level up you get to choose rewards that make you more and more powerful, and then you either win or you lose and you get rewards depending on that. The classic loop that we all know. The difference is with this game is, instead of controlling and all the combat coming from your character, it's actually going to be coming from little followers you have. So you're kind of like a captain or a herald. You'll be like a guy holding a banner, and you can, like, walk around, you can roll. By the way, it's like a top-down sort of game. You can sort of move around, you can roll, you can do like a basic little knockback attack, but then you get heroes that you recruit and you train up, and they join you on your party, and they're the actual ones that are doing all of the main combat things. When you level up, you unlock skills you can then pick and you can assign to the different heroes, and they will be doing all of their attacks and all their abilities, similar to a lot of these games like Halls of Torment, Vampire Survivors, where you have automatic attacks around you, that sort of thing. Except it'll be from the heroes, not you. If the hero dies as well, then they're gone. Like that run, they're not going to be in that run, you know. The heroes don't die between runs, that sort of thing. It's not something like Darkest Dungeon where you lose your heroes or anything like that. But yeah, a very simple idea, but taking a bit of a different like approach with it, where you're not actually the one doing a lot of that sort of the combat, like a Hades type thing. Hades is, I guess, a bit more like sort of a room based, with like similar to games like Binding of Isaac and other things like that. So kind of Hades like, with the choices of level ups, if that's what you're talking about. Definitely the way you like level up and you get to pick between like 3 cards. That's essentially how I'm going to do it. But the actual maps that you're in are more wave based sort of maps, similar to a game like Vampire Survivors. Now, I have a lot of other ideas as well, a lot of other things. It's still very in the early stages, but it's taken me a while to get to this point where I'm like happy with that as a product that I can actually do. It's like doable, it's simple, but it's got a twist enough that I'm happy working on it, that I don't feel like I'm not just working on another copy-paste game or a game that's out of my scope that I'm never going to complete. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I've got a bit more stuff to do to work on and figure all that out. But I'm hoping that in the future, I can stream some development of that, and then we can actually get the game finished. The sort of the setting and the world of the game is very just attached to my likes of video games and the world, you know, fantasy and mythology and that sort of thing. So there's some backstory there and some stuff to kind of help it. But in a lot of ways, it's a sort of a Conan sort of world. You know, you're an exile, you're a warrior, a gladiator of the arena, a captain of the arena. And yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, that's where we are with that game. I'm going to be yapping a bit more about it as we go, probably about this and that. But I want to play through some roguelikes today to just kind of mess around with some of these mechanics and stuff that I've seen in other roguelikes and gone, ooh, that could be done a bit different, or I like the way that's done, that sort of thing. A lot of them that I haven't played for a while. So going to be jumping around between a couple of games and making some notes as we go, that sort of thing. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. What have you been up to, Raider? I know you I feel like you finished you would have finished those assignments that you were working on way back, right? So I hope that's all going well. I hope study's going good. And yeah, I hope you're going as good as well as. I hope the world of Lord of the Rings Online is still flourishing. I have not logged in for so long. I mean, I've been playing a lot of other random little games in my spare time, but mainly just like offline games. I've been playing through Resident Evil, which I started like years ago. The first Resident Evil. I'd never played any Resident Evils. I kind of held out on it to play it from the beginning, but I've been playing through some of them. Just enjoying that. But yeah, finished uni stuff a week ago. Nice. Oh, there you go. Free time. That's what we want. How'd you go with your adventure? Oh, damn. So soon, I guess that's the thing, is the game, it's all built upon the exclamation mark adventure. You know, simple, fun, basic concept, right? Now, what are we going to play first? That's what I want to figure out. I think I'm going to jump into Halls of Torment first, which is a kind of lesser known sort of Vampire Survivors roguelike game. But I really like the art style and some of the systems. It's just as basic as Vampire Survivors, but with a bit of a sort of nice look about it. So I'm going to get into that first and jump around a bit. Let's change this category. Halls of Torment. Gonna be lurking for a bit, doing Minecraft shenanigans with some friends. Oh, that sounds awesome, Raider. No, all good, no problem at all. And I know it's been ages. I hope you're well. I'm sorry I haven't streamed for so long. I feel bad about it, but I've just been going like, nah, I've just got to focus on my own stuff. But today I was like, you know what? I just need to just do a stream. Hell to it. I don't know how regular streams are going to be in the future from this at all. I don't know if this is a setup for continual regular streams again, but I was like, I'm not even going to think about that. I'm just going to press start and we'll go from there, you know? Because yeah, no, I've missed you guys a lot. It's a lot of fun doing this. It's great to have you back. You're allowed to look after yourself. I appreciate it, Raider. Appreciate it. All right. Where is Halls of Torment? There it is. I'm glad Adventure works as well. It's good. Got my coffee as well. Got my morning coffee. I do like this streaming time. I think I'll get used to doing stuff around this time. God, the lighting though. Oh, and you can get a, I guess, if you're not lurking already, Raider, or anyone else that's watching, you can get a quick glimpse at my backdrop. It's still very much in progress, but I've got to fill in some slots here on the wall. But hey, it's looking pretty good. It's definitely an upgrade from my last one. We need to get the blue light set up over it, or around it, or somewhere to make the lighting a bit better. But got Lego Rivendell up there, all set up. Got the helmet. Got the sword, even got the other sword as well. And then all these shelves are a bit disorganized. I got to figure out all them. I've got some miniatures I want to put on the bottom shelf here. And also probably put some like Lord of the Rings books here, something like that. There you go. Alright. Did stream just reset? What was that me? I am on restream again. God damn, if we start getting the issues. I'm going to turn on this backlight. One sec. Right. That's a bit better. A bit less of a flashbang. I don't have my little lighting thing set up. Hey Poison, how you going? Good to see you. Game capture, where is it? Let's try to get over here. Alright, cool, we're in. This is working alright. Don't know how sound is. But yeah, okay, so this game, I played this a long time ago and I pretty much unlocked like everything in it. So it's a bit overwhelming coming into a game like this at the start. Baby says hi before nap time. Hi, baby. Have a good nap. Nice with the adventure, Poison. Nice. Let's in with the adventure as well. Come on. Oh, level 15 brute. Unlucky. Unlucky. So this game has a bunch of different classes that you sort of pick from that completely change the way you sort of fight. I mean, like in any of these games, the archer shoots projectiles, the swordsman swings a weapon around, exterminator shoots out like I think like a fire flamethrower, that sort of thing, which is something very reminiscent of how I'll be doing the heroes on my game. So I am kind of curious to kind of just see some like effects and the way it's done. Maybe we'll pick someone really unique to start with just to see how their attacks work. Oh, and then the Sage. Okay, this is a new guy. Selects ability at the start of the run, which then counts as his main weapon. And dual axes, that kind of throws out 2 axes. Targets the closest enemy, Bard. Alright, I don't think I've played Bard before, so let's do Bard. Now this game has really slow sort of basic movement. And we'll see when we get into the games. Oh, as you can see, I have all of the unlocks maxed. Artifacts. Yeah, okay, so this game had a cool artifact system, I remember that now. So there's different areas. Can I dash or anything? No, I can't. Music selection. Oh. So you have the different areas, and this is very reminiscent of how I'm going to set up my game in a similar way. With tiles, like that generate themselves and just a sort of a style. So I can start very simple. I can start with like a couple of areas. So I really like how they do it in this and Vampire Survivor. It's very, very simple. There's a couple of other roguelike games like this and games like Hades. They're way more complicated with their like level design and sort of generation, even that sort of thing. But yeah, then you have the areas, and then you're able to actually go to this shrine and, yeah, equipped artifacts that add debuffs to you, pretty much. Yeah, so less runtime, more spawn rate, more movement speed of everyone, which is, I guess, is kind of good for you as well. Then adding these increases the enemy health and the enemy speed, the XP drops. This is like a cool system for just like being able to replay the same arena over and over again and still have more and more increases as you unlock these. And I am thinking of like how I want to kind of create that same loop in my game. Like, yeah, because I want the progression of sort of areas, like for example, Haunted Caverns, this is one area. I want you to be going into this area and doing it multiple times, you know, even after you've defeated the final boss. You should be going to like the next area and then backtracking, going to the first one, doing it with some challenges, that sort of thing, trying to unlock the extra stuff. There's a lot of different ways I can do that. I don't really know about doing it like this though. I never really liked this fully, these items. I think spawns lava eruptions near you that damages both you and the enemies. Like some of these things, you just want to have them all on because you want to be at the maximum difficulty, you know, if you're really trying to like get really far and you know, or get a really insane build that does really well, you want to be maxing it out. So, and some of these just kind of suck. So I feel like the way of balancing that is either to have lots of them and you can only pick so many. So you can only pick like 5, so you have to pick and choose. So then you're like, oh, I won't get this one. I'll just have these 5. Yeah, new Fellowship season started, so back to farming that. Nice. I still haven't played any Fellowship. Maybe I should give it a try, but I have been playing. What I've been playing? Me and Poison played a little bit of Where Winds Meet, which was that was pretty interesting. I still haven't played enough of it to really have a good idea of the game, but some games like Cult of the Lamb make that continued cycle by having each area specialize in a resource or goods, so going back is needed for progress. Yeah, yep, yes, that is a way of doing it, and there are some games like that, like Deep Rock. There's the Deep Rock Survivor. That's another game we can have a look at today. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Yes, we should have a look at that one today as well, because that does a similar thing. There's also another one. God, I have so many to go through. Soul. And a couple of these I want to go through as an example of what not to do as well. So Soulstone Survivors, this is another one I want to look at. It has some good things and it has a lot of overwhelming things. One of the things in that is that each area has a very distinct different resource that you can collect that you need. And the way they do it, it doesn't work that well. I think it's a bit... it makes some runs feel meaningless. It makes you feel like, oh, why am I doing this just to get the resources? You're not getting anything else. But I think the issue's more in the other things as well, right? It just doesn't like balance into the rest of the game. And it becomes a bit too grindy. What I really like is like some unique things to unlock in the runs. So let's have a look at how Halls of Torment does it. Quests. This I really like. I really like this quest system here. Now, you could be done in a lot of different ways, but the way it works is you have the different areas. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, final chapter. And then you have one for all the classes. All the different classes. Cold Fury. They're all called different things than the classes themselves, but you can kind of guess what they are. Lightning Storm, that's like the mage. And then you have milestone ones, which are just general achievements, artifact achievements, and some extra ones. These ones I haven't even seen before, some new updates. There's probably some cool new updates to check out, actually. But the way these work is all of these tiles are individual achievements. So, for example, let's go to Path of the Swords. This is the Swordsman. He just has these achievements that as you deal more damage with certain abilities that he has, or you do certain things that he's good at doing, you reach higher levels in certain dungeons, certain areas, you unlock these achievements, and by completing them, they actually unlock like either items that can appear in runs, or like I think even upgrades that can appear in runs, like the cards that you sort of pick. And I really like this. I think that like it's a good way of going back to previous areas to kind of complete your set, to kind of keep unlocking all the things in the game. So yeah, I've got to figure out how I kind of want to do that. I'm not going to yap too much about all that because I'm still not actually that sure, to be honest. Going to be coming in and out between jobs. All good. No, you're all good. I'm just going to be yapping for a while. I'm not going to stream for too long as well. I probably only do like another hour or two. As I said before, I just wanted to come in and catch up and jump in and chat about where I'm at, what I'm going to be doing, and yeah, but I think I'm going to be a bit more focused on game development for a bit, figuring all that out, and then I want to get the stream set up for that, and that's a bit of a process because I think like I need to clean up my computer and I need to make it all kind of set up so I can just share screen and do all the things I do, not have to worry about, oh, this random document stuff showing on one screen and personal information and all that sort of stuff, because this is just, you know, personal computer. So yeah, I've got to go figure all that out. All right, let's go in. You also have equipment you can collect, and this is a cool system in this game. Now, for anyone that's confused, if anyone's watching, we're just looking at roguelike games, Vampire Survivor games, looking at a lot of the mechanics in them. I'm working on a roguelike sort of, what do you call it? Like a commander roguelike, we're going to call it, where you control like a commander and then your heroes do the work for you, but in a sort of roguelike Vampire Survivors game loop. So we're just looking at mechanics from lots of different games and seeing what stands out, what's really fun, and that sort of thing, what works, what doesn't, just for inspiration. Now, Halls of Torment has an equipment system, which I really like this system. I like it because it creates really unique things about the classes. So the fundamental choices you have in the overworld are pretty slim. You just pick your class, and that just changes, as we can see here, like the abilities you have. So as a bard, we have some ability, I can't remember what it is. Then you have the Shrine of Blessing, which is permanent upgrades. And this is kind of like a system that I don't want to include this if I don't have to in the game, because this is just an arbitrary thing just to kind of boost your levels as you get some gold and then boost it up. So when you start the game, you've got none of these and you're not that good in the runs. And then as you progress up, you get more and more upgrades, you get a bit more speed, a bit more damage, and it makes quite a big difference. And then it caps off. And then the progression of how strong you can get is more based on other things. I'm not sure how I want to do this. Like Vampire Survivors, Vampire Crawlers, all those other ones do it in a way where it takes a really long time to get them all. And you more refund them and respec them. But I don't know. I think there might be a better way of doing this sort of thing. Because the purpose of this is just progression. The purpose of this is just you're now a bit stronger, so you can go into these other areas. So if you sucked at the game and you weren't progressing at anything else, like you weren't getting any equipment or you weren't unlocking any new achievements, if you're just putting ranks into this, you're still kind of getting better, you know? So it's a bit... I don't know too much about these sort of systems. But then you have that... And then the next thing's the items in Halls of Torment. This is the big one, so this makes a big difference. And you can look at individual slots. We can look at the helmet slot. These items you actually find in runs. You equip them in the run, and then you have the opportunity a couple of times to send items back up to the overworld. And once you've done that, they're permanently unlocked. And this is a really cool system. I really like it because it's you go in, you find a cool item, and it's really unique. Like you look at some of this, perform a war cry every 3 seconds. You know, fragile chance 300%. I think fragile makes them take more damage. So that just does every 3 seconds does a little war cry. Like that's a huge thing out of just a piece of equipment. This is something I kind of want to take and try to work into the different heroes that we have, and you'll be able to control and be fighting for you. So they're building and deciding on what you want them to be specialized in will be more focused around what equipment they're using. There's things like for each burning enemy, you get extra burn damage. So if you're all about burning, you want to chuck that on. Yeah, really cool. But also at the same time, when you go into a run, it's random of what you can get. So you're aiming towards something that maybe that class or that character is good at doing and what you want to do. But also it's RNG at the end of the day. And then there's that balancing of the RNG and making sure that you want to just keep going with a run. Like if your run isn't going that well and you've picked some bad things and you kind of like, this bit sucks. I think it's important that you still want to feel like you can finish that run. There's still a purpose. And like what you were saying, Poison, a lot of the time it's that resource that you get from it that is that purpose. So it's like, oh, I'm not doing too great, but I'll keep going until I die because I might get an extra 10 of whatever resource while I'm just trying to survive, you know? Rather than the sort of Binding of Isaac, or maybe not less Binding of Isaac, but some other of those games where when you get a bad run, you just restart. I want to avoid that like as much as possible, right? Because that's one of the most annoying things with roguelikes. You get bad items, you just restart. Some games do it where when you restart, you get like penalties and stuff, and then you can't restart. It's like, but that's like a band-aid solution. So I don't know. Let's see. So standing still, we get range. Moving, we get area. Let's go with that. That sounds chill. And we've got lots of different equipment. At the start of the game, you have none of this. So transforms picked up gold. Movement speed. Let's go with movement speed. Let's go with base stamp. I'm just going to pick some really basic ones. I don't really know what I want. Standing still increases damage. Maybe more movement speed. And multi-strike. Wow, okay. Alright. So this is where our progression this is where our gear comes from. All this is, changes all that. And we also get to pick a mark. Allows you to take your... And the marks you unlock from the different classes. So you can wear a different class's mark as a specific class. And it means you actually get to kind of multi-class because you get the traits and options from that class in your picks of when you level up. We're just going to go swordsman because I don't know. Maybe a ranged one, maybe archer because I think we're like ranged. Alright. Sure, we'll do... So Shrine of Torment, we can do things extra hard. Let's go into the first area. Done. We'll do a quick run of this, and then I'm going to jump into some other ones. Yeah, this may not be super interesting for some guys. Some of you guys, this stream, like, it's just going to be me yabbering and really working. But I know very different from what we're normally doing. But choose a starting ability. Shoots confetti that deals damage over time. Emits sound waves on each beat, which pushes enemies away. Fires projectiles at random enemies in sync with the music. Okay, so it's very bard heavy. Summons a mob of dancing imps that dance around the bard and deal damage. Sets the stage on fire. I want the imps. Let's go with imps. Now... Emits... Kick bass. Sure, we'll go kick bass. So, I've got to remember the controls as well. There's a way to switch off auto... We'll switch off auto aim. So when you level up, you get to pick between upgrades in a similar way with all of these games. They do go up ranks as you collect them. So if I pick Vanguard 1, next time I get Vanguard, it'll be Vanguard 2. So there's a bit of progression with that, which I do like. I'm just trying to figure out attack speed. Oh god, we're leveling up fast. It's because of all these upgrades I've got. Do I have auto aim on? Input method on? I guess he just... I feel like this guy I don't actually control at all. I don't know what this is. Like I'm not controlling. God, we're leveling up so fast. I think that's one of the things that with this game, endgame, and it was very fun early on and progressing up because the the power creep though, that was the big thing with this game. Get way too powerful. Like the fact that we're leveling up every like couple of seconds right now, it's like it's not ideal. But yeah, interesting attacks. I mean, like these little imps run around and do a little area effect, and fundamentally the abilities that all the different heroes are going to do are going to be very similar. But they'll be doing it from themselves. So if you can imagine, your little captain guy will be in the middle moving around, and around you will be your heroes. You'll have a couple of options to change what they're doing and whether they're like staying close or going far from you, that sort of thing. But they will mainly just be automatic, just doing their own thing. You're just positioning yourself, you're interacting with things, you're rolling around dodging like boss attacks, and then you're also using your one attack, which is like it's like it swings your banner and does like a knockback. So the concept of that is it's not meant to do like really any damage at all, but it's a way for you to sort of roll and knock back some of these guys and get away and let your heroes deal with them. But yeah. Yeah, I played a mobile version. It was super fun until you get too strong. Yeah, always hard to prevent that, it seems, in these types of games. I used to absolutely love the mobile game Archer Hero. Oh man, I love it as well as. And it's the same thing. So much fun early game. Seriously, yeah, Archer Hero like is such a good game. It's such a basic concept, but I think the first one on mobile, they just kind of nailed some of those basic progressional things that are just super fun. You just keep wanting to play again because you're like, oh yeah, I want double shot, I want triple shot, and like, and then I think the second game that was like got some more updates, but it was like worse. It was just more like clicky and had all, I don't know, like all those phone games, they just throw in all those other systems like, oh, now you've got equipment level ups, now you've got talents, now you've got the store, and they just reuse everything. And it's like, it was kind of cool before that. It was way cooler. But yeah, that is the biggest issue with these sort of games is power creep. And it's inevitable. I think that is the thing. It is inevitable. And when developing a game like this, I think the best thing to do is to just kind of like ignore that. Like that is an inevitable part about this game. So you just have to make that progression fun the whole time until the very end. It should just be still fun to just get more and more powerful. And like Vampire Survivors does a good job at it, I think, because it kind of has like, let's say this is where the end of the game is. It takes you all this time to get to the end of the game and unlock all the things and get all the stuff at the current update, at the current time or whatever. But then you can go further than that. You can keep going through endless. You can keep getting more, and sometimes there might be some hidden achievements in there. But that's that kind of, there is a clear end where you feel like, oh yeah, I got all the guys, I finished all the areas, this feels good, I feel powerful. But you can keep going, and you kind of want to, because you're like, oh, I'm just like super powerful now. And you feel powerful. You don't feel dumb powerful like in something like Halls of Torment, where you're just getting level and level and level and level. You feel powerful because, this equipment, and this piece of equipment combined together and do this thing when you get this ability, and then it does an explosion and the whole screen clears and just crazy stuff, right? Yeah. Second game is worse. Feature creep. Yeah, prestige systems can also be good for that. If you make the prestige system reward fairly small but satisfying. Yeah, that's true as well, and it depends how much of the game you want people playing, really. I think for the simple game of this that I'm sort of working on, it could be something for the future for sure. But I think it's like, once you've played through once, you know, there's not much incentive to go back again, unless you just really like the game and just want to start again, you know, which you could already do, right? Start from scratch because you want to have that fulfillment and that dopamine of getting all the things. But yeah, prestiging then becomes a thing of like, and then you've got to balance the prestiging and the continuing of that. But if you just accept that there is an end, you're like, yeah, this is the end, but let's make all of the fun in between like really good and have continual things to do, then that's good. That's fun. Yeah. Oh, with Archer Hero, yeah, I didn't even know the first one had prestiging, but that would be a good system. Because going back to the Square One stuff would be great, because that was the early stuff that was good. Oh, you wish the first one did. Oh, yeah, okay. Does the second one have it? But I guess yeah, whether or not, but yeah, I agree. I think that would be good. Barely played it, yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't as good as all. I'm trying to think, there might have been another random. Yeah, this is cool. It's cool to mess around this. So, I guess I'm just going to be yapping about a lot of things that I like and stuff. I like the area of effects on the ground are really interesting. I think because the main part of the game I'm working on, when you're controlling your hero, you're mainly just avoiding dudes. In a similar way that you are here. You don't have any roll or anything. But in Halls of Torment, you're really just moving around WASD and avoiding guys. You can turn off auto aim and auto like attack. But I think this hero in particular, it doesn't let me turn it on and off. It's just staying on. He just seems to just do whatever he wants. Because I turned it off. Oh. No, we want to stay in full screen. Twitch chat polls. What? Auto aim, mouse only mode. I don't know. Am I attacking that way? Oh yeah, I'm attack. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Weird. But yeah, I guess the way I'm going to have my game set up, though, as well, is there won't be any auto-attacking or auto-aiming, because the only attack that you have as a dude is just one attack. There might be some progression with, like, unlocking different abilities you can slot onto your main guy as well, like maybe more buff-related things. Oh. But yeah, the heroes that are, you know, surrounding you doing stuff will be auto-aiming and auto-attacking. So that's there already in that way. And you could choose to not use your attack at all, really. And ideally, you shouldn't have to use your attack all the time, unless that's part of your build. Maybe you have a setup where, you know, someone gets knocked back or slowed and this happens and that combines together and have some build possibility. But yeah, I want to take that really simple thing, which is very apparent in Archer Hero, you know, where you're picking between those skills, and you got like, oh, I want my ice attack, so I want to fire 2, or I want to have multi-shot. Real simple stuff of that, which is just fun in any of these games. But I want to take that and put that into the little heroes, you know, so you're this commander and they're the ones upgrading and their abilities are going crazy, that sort of thing. And you're just like strengthening them. The game will start where you only have like one hero that's following you around. That's the very beginning. It's going to start with you being actually by yourself in an arena, and then getting like overwhelmed, and then, you know, a dude comes in and like saves you and helps you out, and then it's like, oh, this is the game. You know, you're pretty weak by yourself, but you're a commander. That's not what you're good at. You're good at commanding other dudes. And then you have a bunch of different classes that you will unlock and be able to recruit guys that become that class, and then take them into sort of battles, eventually unlocking like 2 or 3 slots to bring heroes in. And then all of their, you know, abilities and stuff like that will combine together. And maybe even what sort of cards and stuff you get to pick between, what options for skills will be depending on what guys you pick. And similar in the way with like Vampire Survivors and those games where you get to pick between like skills and then passive abilities. Like you have like 6 skills you can pick and then 6 passives, and then they like combo up and can combine into other things. I'm going to do a similar thing with the heroes themselves. So for example, like the warrior will have 5 slots, and they'll be aligned to different types. There'll be like 2 melee slots, maybe a buff slot, a spell slot, and some defense slot or something like that. And then different abilities that you find and you can pick as you level up in the runs will be aligned to those different types. So if you pick an ability that's a melee ability, you can equip it. Oh yeah, I'll put it on my warrior because he's got 2 melee ability slots. And so you're kind of picking and choosing, building your characters in the runs with the skills that you randomly get given. But you kind of want to have a ratio of different abilities. You could pick to have 2 or 3 heroes that all have very similar abilities. Maybe they're all melee guys, and then you have a lot of passives that's buffing all melee damage, that sort of thing, and have a build around that. Or you could be more diverse, and that'd be better, because then every skill you get, you're going to be able to give it to someone. If you pick just a melee thing and you get an option between some spells and no one can equip the spells, you're like, damn, I'll have to maybe you know, get gold from discarding this choice, that sort of thing, because I can't pick one of them, or pick something else that's not as good. But yeah, I think you have to request your account deleted. Oh, even to just start again? I feel like I've played with like 2 or 3 Google accounts as well. I probably like just have to buy a brand new phone. Yeah, I wonder, surely you can like log in with different accounts, right? Can't remember which class was my favorite in this game. I've had the thought about how cool an open world Archer hero type game would be. Yeah, like taking that loop of picking and choosing in the open world. There is one game in particular that comes to mind that has done the roguelike picking cards as you level up, but it's an RPG world. And it's called... it's really like a concept that you think shouldn't really be possible. Like if you take that roguelike thing of whenever you level up, you pick a skill, and you put it into an RPG where you don't die. Now it's like, okay, every choice is permanent, right? But this game, they like somehow, they make it work by like you being able to change your choices as you go. So it kind of feels like, you know, you play this whole RPG and you finish it all, and then you're like, maybe I'll start again. Even though I'm going to be playing the exact same game, it's kind of like, oh, mate, maybe like, yeah. Bro, this is actually the best background noise for building a house. Oh, I'm glad. Well, look, you know, the future of streams are probably going to end up being more like this, I'm thinking. I don't know. I want to get back into doing a bit of gaming, but I just kind of want to just stream and yap about things, especially because we're doing the game development stuff. It's going to be a lot of this. You building a house, though, Raider? What do you mean building a house? I'm building a real... Oh, wait, in Minecraft. Oh, wait. It took me it took me a second to process that. Oh man, I miss a bit of Minecraft. I actually wanted to like put together a little Minecraft server. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. If I'm not streaming as regular, like, I want to be streaming more regular, but because I'm not at the moment, it's just like, it'd be kind of nice to have like a big server set up where, you know, people can jump in and just do some stuff. Though, if I did get a server set up, I'd have it kind of a bit unique, a bit different, you know, maybe with proximity voice chat in it, and like, you know, yeah, make it like Minecraft Vanilla Plus, you know, which I've made some mod packs for a couple of times. It just kind of enhances slightly, but it's still that base vanilla experience. It's not like overtaken with crazy stuff, which I love as well. But alright, so this is Halls of Torment. Now, you can see all our traits we have here. There's a bunch of things that I think I want to kind of do similar to, you know, in Halls, the way that Halls of Torment does. Obviously there's a lot of things Hall of Torment does that like other ones do as well. You know, you got 6 slots of the items you can pick, and you have skills and passives. The thing that Halls of Torment does, I'm gonna just, oh, whatever, I'll pick this one. Things that Hall of Torment does is levels up these skills as you go, which I think is quite interesting. And I think they combine together as you go. Yeah, so, okay, trait variants. So, proficient stance 2 area, level 15. The following trait variants will be excluded upon selecting the above trait. So there's actually 4 possible other versions of this you can find in options. And if I pick this one, these ones won't be possible anymore. So maybe I'm like, oh, actually I want multi-strike as my main thing. Then I would probably ban this. Like I would use a potion of memories or one of these things to like get rid of it. Which these potions are really important. I think they're a core part of these sort of games. But if you do right, they should be a core part of it, because this is how you pick and choose what you want as you're going in a run. If you see something that you never want to see before, you ban it. If you see something that you want to use, you know, you lock it. All those sort of things. My friends have been trying to get me to play on this server for ages, but I didn't have Minecraft on PC. Then one of them got it for me at my birthday. Ah, nice. My days, I would love a Vanilla Plus sort of server. This one's heavily modded and it's a little too much. Yeah, true. Yeah, I've been through the heavily modded rigmarole along, you know, many times. Been growing up on Minecraft pretty much. Yeah, Feed the Beast and Technic and all the good stuff. Man, I love them so much. The last big server that I played on that a friend of mine set up, was pretty perfect in regards to Vanilla Plus. It had quite a lot of mods in it, but it was barely like when you look at it, you just think it was vanilla Minecraft, you know? And a lot of the mods were just things like enhancing on the original stuff. So there was just some things like you can make pickaxes with the different sorts of wood, and some different sort of enemies, like, you know, you've got like mo creatures and the better biomes, and you've got like, you know, some different creatures, and then you've got like the upgraded dungeons and under the ground and stuff. It's like just a bit more, but you still feel like you're doing the same Minecraft progression. You're still going through, you're still getting your ores, you're still getting to the nether, and you're doing the same things. Because we didn't want to like veer it away from that where we're just playing a different game. We were like, let's just make it Minecraft. Like, we just want to hang out and build stuff and make like a cool town. But let's add some things into it so that the game loop and the progression is a bit new and a bit fun. And maybe there's some new blocks to mess around with. And but yeah, nothing super crazy. And then also it was easy for people to get, because we just set up a thing where you can click a link, download the thing, and it was smallish. But yeah, maybe I have to do that sometime. I've got a little server. I've got like a little computer server that I can have set up and that can be running 24/7. I actually set it up as a Minecraft server. It's like a little, it's one of those like computers that are on like the back of monitors. You see at work, like workstations and stuff like that. A lot of like offices have them. I bought one of them online off eBay for like $100, and then I stripped it down and just turned it into a server. And it's actually great, this little thing. So I can set that up and have that running, 24/7. Don't have to like pay for a server hosting or anything like that. It'll be pretty good. Not going to be super good connection. Though it might just be easier to get server hosting for it if I can afford to just do that, because it's a lot easier. But yeah, you're describing my dream Minecraft experience. Hell yeah. I'll have to go through the list of what that mod pack was, of all those mods we used. But it was cool because we had proximity voice chat mod in that, which was a core part of the whole thing. I think what else did we have? We couldn't actually go past a certain boundary. I think that we had like about a biome or two of boundary area. So we locked ourselves in this area being like a large enough area, but so that we'd have to kind of be closest to each other. And then we had proximity chat, and it was the only way we communicate was in the game, even though we were like, communicating over like a Discord server as well. We're like, let's do this, it'll still be fun. And it was kind of cool. I think it was like one of those game design things where once you do it, you're like, yeah, running around trying to look for people and talk to them doesn't work as well. You wait for people to log in and then no one logs in. I don't know. So easier said than done, but yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a cool thing like that. And just having the proximity chat with that Vanilla Plus feel, it was like, it was quite fun because people would be discovering things. We had someone who was playing like essentially a GM who was kind of flying around and manipulating and adding things and creating like some mysteries for us. He did like a pretty crap job at it, to be honest, though, and made it. We all thought that was going to be the fun part of it, but nothing really happened. But yeah. Yeah, so these guys have the two. So, I'm going to let myself die. I'm kind of seeing what I need to see here. Halls of Torment does things very similar to Vampire Survivors, just with a couple of twists, and those couple of twists I really like. Like the equipment, really nice twist, simple way of having some like class game-changing things. Being able to alter your class and your character on these items is awesome. Really cool way, and then able to have this really cool like equipment thing where you got these really, the Necromancer's clutch, and just great. It has a really fantasy feel to it when you equipped items and they're all doing completely different effects and stuff. It's reminiscent to me of like classic WoW and like, proc chances on items and very, very basic things, So I like that a lot. I think that's a system I'm going to try to do in a similar way, but with my heroes. In our game, there's going to be like an overworld similar to this, actually, where you'll move around and there'll be a lot of things to interact with. You'll have like a guild hall and recruitment things, and you'll be able to kind of train your guys and unlock new things with them. A bit of a progression in the overworld. Originally, the game was actually going to be a lot more overworld focused with sort of this sideline arena progression, but I decided to kind of lean more into the roguelikes, so that's what we're going with. But I do have ideas in the future for other games, which have come around over the last month or so of me trying to figure out this game. I keep coming up with other ideas, and then I'm like, this is awesome, I want to do this, and then I'm like, nah, I can't do this, I can't work on this, it'll take me years by myself. And I don't even know if it will be like super perfect. But I do want to kind of take the concept of this game that I'm working on and build it into like a bigger, more cozy sandbox game, similar to, Shrouded and Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. I guess maybe less Animal Crossing, but those games that you can kind of put time into and are a bit more of a world. You have like the overworld, and the things that you do feed into that overworld. They feed into your farm, or they feed into your house and your stronghold, or whatever it is. I would like to do a game where you're essentially like fulfilling the warrior fantasy, the berserker, the warrior, the barbarian fantasy, the leader. So maybe you're rebuilding like a stronghold and doing all these combat-based things, exploration-based things, but it all comes back to a similar progression and world, like in, you know, Stardew Valley. And a game like Graveyard Keeper is a good example, because that Graveyard Keeper kind of takes the hook and the loop of Stardew Valley and does a completely different thing with it, where you're managing a graveyard, collecting bodies, pulling out different body parts, putting back in, burying them, you know, and that's the whole game loop is about that. So I kind of like the idea of taking that and making the whole game loop about being a warrior, being a commander, training guys, you know, that's your whole thing. But have it be this cozy building, you know, game, simulator, sort of life sim game, as they'd call it. But that's for another time. That's for like a big project, you know, that I can pour a lot of time into. So I kind of pulled back to let's just take that roguelike thing. Let's do something interesting with it and try to actually finally release a game. That's going to be the main goal. So now,
greetings.
Oh, there's even this upgrade system in there. So that's the one thing in Halls of Torment. There's a couple of systems that are a bit too much. This, yeah, I don't know too much about this system. It's a bit like you can upgrade individual stats on individual guys.
Guide you.
And I think that's an example of a system that's kind of just there to extend the gameplay longer, just like with a New Game Plus sort of thing. But it kind of hurts the game more, I feel like, because you look at it and you go, oh god, okay, I gotta put in hours to progress this whole system up. But it's kind of just a system there to add more things to do. But when you look at it, you're kind of like, well, this is part of the game. I have to do it. Yeah. All right, let's jump out of Halls of Torment. I'm going to check out... Jump in another game quickly. Let's jump into Soulstone Survivors. Now... Soulstone Survivors. We'll jump around between a couple of different games just to kind of pinpoint some different concepts that these games do. Did stream just freeze again? Hope I'm not getting like the restream freeze stuff. Oh no, we've got one stream. Okay, I think we're good. Just ads, yeah. I think it just did a little refresh on OBS for me. But that's good. Alright. Soulstone Survivors. This is another Survivors game. I guess we're just going to call them Survivors. That's what I should be calling them. Soulstone Survivors. You know, there's one thing for sure. We're not calling the game Commander Survivors or something. Got a bit more unique. I think because I want to take that concept and that loop of these games, but I also really want to try to make it as like different as possible as well. So I'm getting highly inspired by the systems in this because they work and because they've proven to being work. You know, you look at it and it's a game and it's out and it works and it's fun. Awesome. But taking the core concept of, okay, that's fun. Let's not just copy and paste that. Let's take it completely different, maybe make it work in our world in a different way. But yeah, so Soulstone Survivors is really similar in a lot of ways, but it's a lot bigger. There's just a lot of stuff. It's a bit too much stuff. There's a lot of clutter. You look at the characters, so many characters. Firstly, the fact that they're all locked. I don't like this because you instantly know how many characters there are. I like it when they start with none and you slowly discover them. Each character also levels up themselves and gets more and more powerful. And it's a bit of a power creep thing where you get stuck with a hero and you've leveled them up a lot. Like, for example, the Barbarian. I played the hell out of this guy because he gets cool abilities you get. And then you want to try something else when you come on, but you're just worse. You're not as good. So you keep going back to your main guy. That I don't like. So I think it's about like unlocking stuff for everyone as you go and being able to keep switching around, trying different things, but not being too locked into one guy. Free to shift and change your builds. Now this game though, I really like, and we got ads, don't we? I just realized. I'm just gonna wait till ads are gone. because I just realized we got ads. I'm not used to ads.
What brings?
Skill list. Oh, here we go. They actually have different... See, I don't know. Maybe they're not actually innately better than each other as well, the upgraded ones. They just unlock more different things. Welcome back from the ads as well. I started yabbering, but I just thought I'd stop. Now, Soulstone Survivors does things a bit different, but in an interesting way. One of the things that I really like is their skill design. The skills you get to pick. And let's just go in and do a fight. So there's so many systems in this of like, there's a skill tree with upgrades. This is like, this skill tree here is very similar to in Vampire Survivors and Halls of Torment, where you just upgrade. For gold, you upgrade your run speed from 0% to 50% or whatever. You keep putting points. That's just what this is in a different way, essentially. Runes are like equipment. This is kind of like the equipment equivalent, but it's very complicated. There's a lot of things. I think it's a bit overwhelming, some of this, and knowing which ones you can select. You've got options like you can, yeah, you can specify, you know, specific types of skills that you'll get more of. Now, this is a good example, though, looking at this, of all the types of skills. So this game has all these different types of skills. Arcane, Blast, Bomb, Chaos, Earth, Electric, Fire, Holy, Ice, Nature, Projectile, Shadow, Slam, Swing, and Thrust. This is great, and this is like similar to what I'm kind of thinking with my sort of skill styles, because all the different classes that you have will have different slots, and they can have a certain number of those different skills. So say there's a Paladin. Paladin has 5 slots. He has a Swing slot, a Holy slot, a Slam slot, or maybe 2 holy slots, and then maybe a something else slot or something. Maybe this is something you can alter as well. There's like subclasses, and you pick a subclass like the Dark Urge for the Paladin, and now he has a Shadow or a Chaos slot as well. This is just taking the example of these types. Our game wouldn't be these sort of types in this way, but that's essentially how it would work. And within all these types, you've got lots of these different skills you can get. Now, let's have a look. Can we look at Slam? And ban certain things. So for Bomb, for example, are all these bomb types. Now, each of the skill types has a skill type and then extra other types. So it's a bomb, it's also a missile, it's also your frontal, it's also a burst, and it's physical. This is a bomb, it's lasting, it's static, and it's physical. This is a bomb, lasting, static, physical. They all have different things, and the reason they have these different skill types is they combo up with each other. So you might have one skill that is a bomb and another that's a bomb, and then one that's an area. And if you have 2 area things, they're getting buffed. You get skills as you level up as well that you can pick that are like, you know, all I think for every bomb skill you have, every other skill that isn't a bomb skill gets a buff. So then you have a balance of going, oh, I want to pick like 2 bombs and 3 of this or something like that, and then they buff each other. So yeah, but I like the system of the skills in this game, and we'll do a run just to kind of showcase that.
You got any void fragments?
Fight. Now, this one, yeah. So this game has an interesting way of doing it. I think when Poison mentioned earlier about resources. So the Scorching Valley is the main game, essentially. There's 5 areas. There's also these 2 other game modes that are like extra extended things and progression stuff. But the primary game is in these acts. And each of these areas have different available materials that you can get from the areas. And then you use those available materials to upgrade your classes. You need more rarer stuff to upgrade them more. To upgrade your skill tree, to unlock runes, you know, etc, etc, right? Which, I think the one thing with that is that when, you know, you need a certain resource and you're like, oh, okay, I'll go do this one that I don't really like. It's a bit of a downside. But It's a cool system, this though. Each area then, as you do them, unlocks these curses, and you can go up tiers. To unlock the next tier, you've got to like max out the curses of the tier before. So to unlock this one, I have to do like 4. I think I've got to go 4 out of 4. And then if I win that, I'll unlock the next tier, and I can do this again at a different thing. And this is great. This is kind of like prestiging individual levels in a way, right? Rather than prestiging yourself, you're just prestiging the level itself, and you're like mastering it over time. So I think it's kind of a cool way of doing it. Let's go into, let's do like super basic. Like let's go 1 at the Whispering Grove. Let's do that. So like the 3rd area with no extra bonuses.
Trees or beasts.
Now, this guy starts with 2 abilities by default: Shockwave and Demolish. Shockwave hits the ground, causing a shockwave in the target direction. Demolish sends a shockwave in all directions. Now, the important thing with these skills that's really fun about these skills is the buffs. So we can see this gives us Gain Colossal and Resilience. Colossal increases the area modifier. Resilience increases armor power. The other one also gives us Colossal and Brutal. Brutal is a trait, so that means it deals more damage the closer you are. But both of these give us Colossal. And as you can see, above our little character there, it might be hard to see with the bit rate, and that may be an issue today with these sort of games. There's a little number, so 18, 16, that's how many of those stacks of that buff we have, because every time these 2 abilities attack, gains more of them. A really fun thing in this game is comboing those together then, right? Getting a lot of shadow at the moment. So the fact that your area modifier is increasing with Colossal, you can really go like heaps of Colossal stuff and get heaps more area, and then kind of combo things together where every time you get Colossal, you get something else as well, etc. Right? This game is real basic with its like arena progression. It's kind of just very similar to Vampire Survivors. We get 3 choices of things here. You get them in different rarities as well in this one. So there's that RNG where, you know, this is a perfect example, right? Block power and armor power are both like uncommon here. Move speed is common, but block power and attack and armor power, like I don't like these. I mean, I don't like going for armor. I would go with armor if I was going some build that was like your armor becomes damage or something, right? But then I've got this choice to make. Oh, well, do I go with the uncommon one, or I just go with the common one that's a better choice? I'm going to go with the common one that's a better choice. But that is the joy of having like rarity there as well. So comparing with Halls of Torment has no rarity, but every time you pick that skill, it goes to like the next level, and then the next level can have more options. So there's an incentive to pick that one to keep going. Whereas this one, it just keeps going a bit with the rarity. And yeah, and then as you level up as well, you get the option to pick between skills sometimes. And you've got 6 skill slots, so there you go, we've got a skill to pick. And we can look at all the different things. You can actually hover over them, and at the bottom it tells you like how many types are similar with the other types that you have. So Armor Shatter has 3 on Shockwave and 2 on Demolish. You know, Slam, Area Burst, Physical. So that's going to combo with a lot of things we have. It also gives a different effect. Applies Shattered to enemies and gains prowess. So that's quite cool because it means we're getting different buffs. Body Slam, that gives us prowess as well. Damage is multiplied based on armor power. There you go. So if we were going armor power, that's what I go with. God, I'm getting a lot of shadow. Is that better? Not really. The light's just blasting through the window at the moment. I'm getting rayed. Wait, maybe I'll turn on my backlight. Ah! Ah. Better? Is that worse? What if I just lift it up all the way? What if we... I'm getting reflected, attacked by the sun right now. Wait. I need to put something over here. Alright. Is that better? Yes. Not really. Not at all. I got to figure out the lighting issue in here, but today it's maybe not the day for that. Oh, that's better. Alright, so yeah, this game has a lot of different things. Some things I don't enjoy as much. It's a bit overwhelming with a lot of its systems and the characters and all that sort of thing, but fundamentally has some really nice combinations with the skills here. Really easy to read and understand as well, and things combined together. So I'm thinking, like, I'm tempted to take that concept of these different buffs and that sort of thing and implement them in. But yeah, it's an interesting way of doing it. Let's go with like armor shatter. We'll do just like one run in this and then end. The main thing with this game is the fun of it comes out of what you're doing with your character and your build. Every match you just have to defeat 5 Lords of the Void, and you've got to eliminate like a certain number of guys to get them to spawn, and that's really it. So there's not too much difference with what you sort of do there, though when you finish a sort of a wave, I guess, you get some options of things you can do. So let's just pick a couple of random things, whatever, and these abilities start, you know, going on top of each other. You get a lot of crazy stuff going on, so pretty cool. I don't think I'd want to go as intense as this with all of its attacks and that sort of thing. In our game, I'm imagining, you know, you're going to be surrounded by your heroes running around and attacking for you. And because there's going to be multiple of them, it'll only start with one, but I think there'll be like about 3 normally that you sort of take in. The game's going to be sort of balanced around. So if you think of it like that, as one character in this game, you're doing lots and lots of attacks. That's fine. But if you've got 3 and they're all doing that, it's way too much. So it'd be kind of divided up between those 3. So if you can imagine like a third of how intense this guy is, kind of, I'd probably have that be similar with heroes. Just with their abilities and how big like an attack is and how much of the screen it takes up and that sort of thing. Now, this game has the dashes, which another game, Death Must Die, that we might have a look at if we've got time, does. This has dashes. You've got little dash pips. Now, this is something that's going to be definitely in our game. Like, because you're only going to have a basic attack and a roll, you're pretty much maneuvering around. You're going to be dodging bosses in the same way you do in this. Maneuvering around from them, dodging their swings, that sort of thing, while your heroes are surrounded around you doing attacks. Obviously I've got to figure out balancing of like the fact that your heroes are just going to get hit all the time, and how will we balance that? I don't know. Maybe they don't even, I don't know. I haven't actually really thought about that. It's something I've got to figure out, but at the moment, either heroes might actually not even have health and it's just you, so they can't die, and that would fix those solutions, but it's kind of a band-aid solution. Or they need to be able to maneuver and like dodge themselves, essentially. So get out of those things or not be affected in certain ways, or always have some way to block or something. Because you can move out of things and you're smart enough to get around and avoid bosses. But if you've got AI following you around and then it gets stuck in spots, it's annoying, right? You don't want to be like, God, come on, AI. It's like, you know, escorting a follower through in a video game or something like that. You're like, come on, stop the escorting mission, right? So I need to just make them feel kind of like rather than like an entity that can die and you got to take care of and all this sort of stuff. They're just like a container for these skills that you've given them, essentially, you know? Maybe as long as you're alive, you keep them alive or something like that. maybe like as this commander person, you know, you're kind of like blessed by the gods of the world to assemble soldiers and people together to fight back and like take back the realm, essentially. So the story in there is that you are a part of that world, and it makes sense why you are so powerful as like this captain, and why you're doing that, and why you can run around and have these guys following you and they do crazy stuff, you know, because you're essentially blessed with this power to you know, a power to empower people, I guess, right? Yeah. Now, yeah, so this game mode keeps going, and then at the end, oh, I don't want to play. So you can replace abilities in this as well as you go, and it's kind of like this system in it is a very obvious, like wasn't fully thought through, and so this is a bit of a band-aid thing. Is that you just replace choices with passive power-ups. So once you've gotten all of the 6 skills you want and you don't want any more, you could keep reshuffling and going, oh, actually, I want that one, and swap it out. But once you're done, you just click that button, and now all the skills that you get are going to be the passive skills. Yeah. Oh, I should have read that one. You get skills. So we can go skip active one. Yeah, whenever you cast a skill of type swing, you have a chance of casting another one of your current skills with type earth instantly. So this is an example of the skill chain. So you can see that I think I have 1 swing, 2 swings. I've got 2 swings. These are both swings. And you can see it highlights my 3 skills down there, which are earth. So every time one of these casts, there's a 12% chance that one of these 3 will cast. Pretty good. But it does get a bit, it gets a bit insane. Like, the fact that we're already just spinning around doing these crazy attacks, you can imagine in an endless run towards the end, it's just the screen's like just being destroyed, right? It's like a bullet hell game. You can see all the different buffs we've got. These things are really fun to work with and build up, so I really love them. But yeah, this is fundamentally it. We've got to fight these 5 guys, and then at the end we get a choice to go to a next run and like continue, or we can go to like a boss runs and then just fight bosses, which is kind of fun. But it fundamentally stays like this until we finish, until we leave, and then we're out. You can even surrender and collect the materials. There you go. You even still get some levels. But yeah, that's this game. A bit different, very different, a bit convoluted with some stuff, but also with some like systems in it that I really like. Well, that's perfect. That looks really nice. The font and stuff of all the skills and being able to understand them, the readability of it, awesome. I think it's great. And the fact that they've got so many. I think if you click on like, so if we go to like ice or lightning, you know, it's like always crazy skills. There's so many. Yeah. If you want to keep them separate and clustered around you, maybe you can manipulate their position somehow and have tanky or squishy allies that either want at the front or back. They either wait at the front or back of your cluster. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly as. So the way I am solving that is just having a couple of simple things. So there'll be 2 main things. There's your formation. So you'll be able to kind of change, and I'm not sure either outside of a match or maybe still inside of a run. But you'll be able to change your formation. So you're able to go like escape or press some button, and you can move your heroes in a certain formation around you that's their default formation. And that will be just mainly a choice of positioning of a circle around you, something like that. And then in the match with your commander guy you're controlling, you can roll, you can dodge, you can walk around. You'll also have the option to switch between like maybe 2 or 3 different modes for your guys. One that's like aggressive, one that's normal, and one that's defend. And so that will be an active skill. I'm designing the game as well so it works good with controller. So it's got a limited amount of buttons you really need to be pressed, but just enough, right? So you'll be able to control them in that way. If there's ranged enemies outside that are kind of going in, there might be an option there to like an opportunity that you're like, okay, I need to set this guy to aggressive just so they push a bit further out and take care of these dudes. And things are pulling in, put them on defensive, and they'll stay a bit closer. And maybe their AI just switches to more like whenever you get hit by something, they will instantly switch targets to take care of that guy. And aggressive, maybe they will focus on the current target that they're attacking before even choosing to do anything else. So some very basic things there. You're really only switching between like 3 modes, but in that there's some strategy of in the moment, you know, because it's quite intense, you know, being attacked by all these waves. Yeah, and then you'll get to pick you'll have their formation as well. So that default place that they will stand and be around you, you know. Whether I'll have like 2 rows or something like that in a circle around you so that you could have a caster close and a melee sort of out. But I think most of the guys as well are going to be in the fray of battle. You know, there's not going to be too many guys that just stand back and just do something. There'll be lots of heroes that buff and heal and support, but they will also be engaged in combat as well. So like the paladin will be in there swinging and buffing. The mage will be like a combat mage, that sort of thing. So it kind of makes sense that they're there with you surrounding and they're not hiding behind you, right? Because the whole point is that you're hiding behind all of them. So it kind of needs to be this tight force. And the class designs will be built around that. So there's not classes that are super rangy things, you know, that rely on sitting back and sniping or whatever, right? But yeah. Something I hated in Arch Hero was how as you went, you gained new abilities, but they were generally just worse than the base set. So you actually had worse RNG the higher you went. Yeah. So you unlock more... Yes. You unlock more things that appear in the runs, but they're just generally worse. So then you just have more bad things in that pool, so it's harder to get the good things. 100%. Soulstone Survivors, I feel like, is a bit like that. You kind of have your good core thing, and there's some good ones you unlock in, but then you got a lot of random ones. They solve it by you can just reshuffle and move things around really easily in a match. But it kind of then feels like a bit like... You know, your choices aren't solidified. But yeah, no, that's definitely a thing to balance. And I think as well...
Energy flows. I guide it.
Complete RNG, I think, is important. That's what I've been thinking about for the runs. I don't want you to... Like, I originally was planning on this game being like a deck buildery kind of game. Like, well, maybe not deck buildery, but something like, you know, Slay the Spire or something, where you actually have this deck and you unlock new cards that go into it. And when you do a match, you're drawing cards from that deck to pick your skills. So you could like manipulate that deck a bit. But then there was issues with that where there's too much micromanagement of your deck. It has to be perfect, all this. So I want to go full RNG for the cards you get in the matches, just like these other games do. Full RNG, you know, you just have a pool of skills you get given. As you progress in your profile, you unlock more ones that go into that pool, but balancing, like you're saying, balancing those things just so that anytime you add in a bad one, you add in a good one as well. Really, but you shouldn't even be adding in bad ones. That's the thing. They should all have a purpose. If there's a bad one, I think it's not good. I mean, a lot of all these games, like these Survivor games, they all have health, defense, parry, armor, all these things that people don't really care about, right? I mean, some people look at that and go, "Ooh, maybe I'll do an armor build where I get armor and then I've got this skill that deals my armor as damage." Sure, that's fun, but that's quite a meta thing to figure out, right? But it kind of feels like that's a lot of the time the only purpose for those skills to be there. So they're just inherently bad for no reason. My choice would be get rid of it. If it doesn't serve a purpose there and it's bad, get rid of it, or add other things that make that better, right? Yeah, just get rid of it. And it doesn't need to be there. I think build the game more around the fact that you don't need that then. So if you've got defensive things, parry things, all this stuff, okay, how much of the game is actually about parrying and defending? Do you have enemies on you all the time? Well, ideally not, because most of these games, you want to get to a point with your build where they're dying before they get to you, right? So having a build built around, you know, defense and parrying and stuff like that, it doesn't really work for the game itself. Like, it doesn't really work for the concept of the game. I reckon if I just lean into it a bit more about the intensity and the fighting and that sort of thing, you won't even notice that those things aren't there. You know, you won't even notice that there's no defense or anything like that. Your defense are your heroes. That's the truth. So I've kind of taken that and gone like, okay, how can we actually make this make sense in the world and in the game, right? You know, why get defense on yourself? Because once enemies are attacking you, it's over. It's not really over yet. You'll have your own pool, health pool, and it can get damaged and you can heal it up so you can keep going and it gets intense. But they're your defense, they're your parry, they're those things. So they might have certain skills that do certain things. Maybe they have fun skills that parry or defend, or, you know, whenever this guy gets hit, he does a thing and it shields everyone around him. That's something cool like that. So there are defensive elements, but it's not like the passive, oh yeah, +5 defense, because why are we building up the defense? We should be building up just flat things, really. Crit, damage, multicast, you know, all this. Oh, just punched my microphone, all this stuff. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you leave those out as well as, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's easier said than done. It's a lot of time in the design, and then you kind of try and make it appeal to a lot of different people and that sort of thing as well. But also at the same time, a game like this, you just appeal to the sort of people that play it, you know? Or have it be gain 10% thorned armor and 10% health. Yeah, something a bit more interesting, a bit more out there. Yeah, so the health boost is tied to something more fun, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. I think, yeah, Halls of Torment does something like that with the alternate choices with your traits, you know? They, yeah, because you kind of ban ones. You're like, I don't want just the health one or the health defense one. I want, this one's got multi-shot and health. Okay, I'll take that. But even then, you're looking at things and you're like, I don't want that at all. So you shouldn't have to have it. But yeah. So this one's cool. Some cool things for this. I'm trying to think,
What can I do for you?
what was there that I wanted to check out? Now we could go open up the OG. The OG Vampire Survivors, but I think instead what we're going to do is check out Megabonk. Now, I'll probably jump off soon. I know, short stream, but just wanted to jump in and catch up with everyone and say hello. So we might just do one, like, chill out and do one more game. And if I think of any others that I wanted to look at something, I might boot it up and have a look. But let's have a look at Megaboink because it's a different perspective. It's like third person, very similar concepts to Vampire Survivors and stuff, with a lot of crazy movement and stuff. A lot of things in this game that I'm not really that interested in for like a roguelike, but there's a couple of things I'm pretty sure that are really nice. Things that are like the procedural generation of the maps and the way those sort of work. So let's have a look at that. Megaboink. It just goes offline and online when I change my thing. All right, here we are in Megaboink. Now this game got pretty well received, really. Very well received, I feel like. and took that similar, you know, the survivors loop. Did something really unique with it though. It's not just like a third person version of that. It's quite different, the progression of it. It feels a bit more like Risk of Rain, I feel like Risk of Rain 2. Fast movement around the map, that sort of thing. And I think you're up against a timer as well. Now, they have a whole lot of different guys with different things. There's not going to be as many things to kind of take from this as sort of concepts because it's very different, but some of the way they do skills and their upgrades are... So let's have a look. Let's pick Clank. He gains crit chance per level. And the main thing with Mega Bonk is each hero has a very distinctly different like weapon and passive. So a lot of the passives are something gained every level, but different. So this guy gets max life every level, this guy gets damage every level, this guy gets luck every level. They make them very different from each other, but also very much contained within what they can do, which... let's do Clank, so crit chance. We'll do Forest at tier 3. I don't think I've cleared that before. So this game revolves around a lot more movement. So you can actually crouch. So I can crouch and slide. There is no manual attacking in this one as well. It's all automatic, which is kind of nice because then you just more focus on positioning yourself. You don't have to all focus on shooting, I believe. Slutty rocket. What? That's a new one. Now, it has randomly generated maps, which I really like, and the way that the items are littered around the maps, like the collectibles, is really interesting. Very similar to Risk of Rain, actually, when I think about it now. Jump height, that's a good one. Now, the way it works in with this one, though, I believe when you level up, you just pick a passive? But you have multiple choices. I think sometimes it's a weapon and sometimes it's not. Oh no, it's a mix of both. Okay. But yeah, it's a mix of both. And in the same way as with like Vampire Survivors, you have slots that you can fill them into. And once they're full, you can't get any more, but you can keep upgrading them. And I like that. I think that that's something I very much will just sort of take that like we were playing like Halls of Torment and stuff, and we would get those skills of like extra health or extra attack speed. There will be a limit to how many of them you can have. So if you pick the health one, that's one slot used up, you know, so it makes those things even more worthless if they're bad things. That's why everything kind of needs to be balanced together better. But then you could pick between a bunch. You might be like, okay, for this hero, I want him to have fast movement speed, high damage, high crit, and something else. And maybe he's like a rogue guy. So he can be the one to run and pick off all these little guys and quickly come back to you to defend you, sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, but the shrines, yeah, that was I was getting confused with. So the shrines give you buffs to stats, but in different ways. Rather than equipping tomes or weapons, shrines can just keep going and keep buffing the stats. So that's like it is a really interesting way that they've done that, where they've got the tomes and stuff, but then they've also got this other way of getting more and more powerful that you can get rarity with. And there is also this stat called like rarity, I think. Is it luck maybe? And it's interesting because luck actually affects so many different things. It's really good, but it's quite balancedly good. It's not just really good, it's not really bad, it's just balanced. For example, I think luck changes the chances of these things being rarer, so having more stats. So you can build up luck and then you find the shrines and then get more out of them. I'll just go size. And then you can spend the gold that you find opening up chests. You get a very similar... and then so items are different as well. So then you have items. So you got weapons, you got tomes, you got items, and then you got the stats. Items are also unlimited. Items just come out of the chests. And items are a lot more similar to the equipment in Halls of Torment that like alter your skills. And I think, like, what's this one do? Cast blood magic upon hitting an enemy, damaging nearby enemies and healing you. So there you go, quite a specific thing. You can slide down these areas. I think it is the thing, like, why it became such a success, I reckon, is just because they took the 3D, the third person sort of perspective and did it justice with this sort of game. The fact that you can slide around and you kind of use hills and you use, you know, 3D to your advantage, right? I think it's great. And some people do crazy, you know, you see people doing runs on like the skateboard guy that's all about speed, and he's just zooming around the whole map, firing randomly. And because you don't manually fire, the game, you know, is just doing that all for you as well. You can just focus on moving around and just positioning yourself. But yeah, that's this one. Not too much really to go over else in this, really. There's just a lot of things to think about. Yeah, I've just been thinking about this game a while I've been coming up with ideas. And I haven't really played any of them for a long time. But I thought I should rehash some of these things, just, you know, jump back in and remember how they are. Whether they work well. We got our first boss. Oh. They have these little red circle areas as well. Their area of effect's really nice, and they do a 3D thing with it. I think that's going to be really important for our game as well, is the area of effects. I mean, as your character, you're just going to be moving around, avoiding things, and positioning your guys, and just interacting with the environment as well. I want there to be things in the arenas and stuff you're interacting with, like all these games, you're picking up pots and breaking things, and oh, destroy this chandelier and it drops and, you know, damages some guys. So there's things you can interact with the environment a lot as well, rolling around and just doing, you know, your knockback hit. Maybe you just want to knock them back a bit. Yeah, I guess I want to kind of balance that automatic combat a bit as well. Obviously, you know, the heroes that are around you are going to be doing all of the combat and all of the majority of the damage and that sort of thing. And I don't want it to just be, oh, look, I can just sit back and do nothing. I want that to be a possibility, just like in Vampire Survivors and those other games where you do a certain build and you do it in a certain way. And, oh my god, I can stand completely still and my guys are just doing everything and it's just working. But it involves putting together certain things and having them work with certain combinations. That shouldn't happen all the time. There should be some need to move around, and that will probably be based on, you know, the enemies won't like overwhelm you too much, and your heroes will just be taking care of them. So if you're not moving, they will come and attack you, and your heroes might not be actually defeating that mob yet. But if you're moving around, that gives them more chance to, you know, fight certain guys and pick them off, that sort of thing. But that's all just going to be a balancing thing. Now, I've rambled for a long time about this sort of game, all this stuff, and I just wanted to jump on today to kind of do that, just to get some thoughts out there, my own thoughts, and kind of gauge what, yeah, maybe doing some development streams in the future will be like. So I don't know when that will be. Like, I don't want to make any promises with all of that either. Maybe it won't work out, but I would like to do some streaming developing soon in the future, once I have like a foundation that I'm happy with. Because that's the thing at the moment, there's a lot of things that I'm still just going back on and changing because I'm not happy with it yet. And a lot of that stuff, it's just more confusing to work on around. It's easier to work on in my own little space, you know, in my own cave. But once I'm in that development cycle of just happy with what I'm doing, developing assets and creating the different classes and the items and stuff, I'd love to stream that. I'd love to get ideas from other people as well, and you know, you guys can hang out and, you know, chat about different things, pop some stuff in from our, you know, inspiration, some little Easter eggs, whatever. It'd be fun to do. And especially because like a game like this will take, you know, a while to develop, it will be a good thing to just stream and do. It will make me actually get it done. So I'm kind of feeling like I need to do that to actually push through to get the project done. But we'll see if that all works out, if I can get the streaming set up to, you know, do development and all that sort of thing. But yeah, what time is it now? It is 2:30. All right, well, I am really hungry and I need to have some lunch and get something to eat. I don't really want to jump off, but I will. And yeah, so I guess regarding future streams as well, I'm not sure what I'll do playing games. Like, I do want to jump on and do a couple of stream games, but I don't know, I haven't really felt like playing anything and streaming it. So, and I kind of got a bit burnt out from Lotro. Like, we played a lot of that. I normally jump between different MMOs a lot of the time. And I was trying to find like another MMO that I could jump into and just stream for a while, but it's just nothing. There's nothing out that I'm that interested in. And I've been through so many of them already that I would have been interested in. Things like, you know, Elder Scrolls and Guild Wars 2 and RuneScape and stuff like that. And so I kind of was just like, I don't know what to do. There's obviously a lot of little games that we could play and do some series on, and got to play the new Subnautica, got to play the Below Zero one as well. We've also got a couple of our stream goals to still do. I have not forgotten about them, though I probably won't be doing crazy stream goal things like that in the future because it's a bit too much pressure when I didn't realize I, you know, don't have all the time to do things. But we will get to them though. I will do them. We will get to our 8-hour Lotro stream, and I'm thinking like the 8-hour Lotro stream, I'll do that once I'm back in Lotro and maybe we're playing the hardcore character again that we started. Just do like an 8-hour stream with him. See how far we can get, push through some levels. But yeah, I don't really know what my plans are. I don't know when I'll be on next, but I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope everything is well with everyone. I do keep an eye on the Discord, and I know it's been very quiet there, and but I do appreciate you guys posting some things and chatting and still, you know, giving it some love, you know. I still look at it every day, even though not much is happening. I just don't really know what to say, really, when I don't even know what I'm going to be doing or when I'm going to be doing next. Yeah, I'm currently trying to figure out work IRL as well, and what area of work I'm going to be going into and to make some money. So I don't know how much I've got to balance my streaming thing around that as well. So that's where I'm at the moment. I hope Guild Wars 3 is good. Is Guild Wars... Wait, is Guild Wars 3 actually happening? I don't think it... What? Oh my god. What? Oh my god, yeah, there was an actual announcement 3 weeks ago. I did not see this. Holy shit. Well, it'd be cool to play regardless. I think it would be great. I mean, I just love to play it from the start. I think that's the thing with Guild Wars 2 that I don't like so much, is that I actually played it when it like first came out and it was pretty cool, but I was playing a lot of other games and I didn't come back till like, you know, maybe last year or 2 years ago. And there's just so much content in that game. It's like, it's too much. It's too much for a new player coming in. Like, it's fun and it's awesome, but I want to play it all. I want to get to the end game and I want to do all the things. So it would be pretty cool playing a brand new Guild Wars from the start. Getting a character in there at the beginning, you know, going through all the story and stuff, and then having it there to come back to over time. Yeah. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. See how we go with that. I mean, we need some more MMOs out there. We'll see what Blizzard does with if they announce Classic Plus at BlizzCon, and I probably will stream it. Honestly, even though I hate it, I probably will stream it. I mean, I've played a lot of like Turtle WoW and things in the past. I've been playing on Cappy Craft as well, the Chinese Turtle WoW now that Turtle WoW's been shut down. But I don't think that Blizzard Classic Plus will really be anything to, you know, get super excited about, but I'll be able to stream it. I can't stream private servers. There's too many issues with streaming private things, you know, legal reasons and all that, and getting demonetized, or not demonetized, but just especially on Twitch. Can't really do it on Twitch. Could on YouTube if I just did on YouTube, but Twitch, meh. So yeah, I don't know. I probably will play it. I probably will play their Classic Plus because they'll be able to stream it. So, you know, if that happens, we'll have an MMO to play a bit. Hey Sanguine, how you going, man? How you going? It's good to see you. I was just about to kind of jump off. I know it's been a very short stream. Might just actually chill out for a sec and kind of clean up some things. Clean up some of our UI elements and stuff that I haven't had a look at. I feel bad ending so early because it's only been like 2 hours. It feels so silly only streaming for 2 hours because it just doesn't give anyone enough time to jump in. I'm excited because Guild Wars isn't scared to try new things. Yeah, for sure. Sure. Sanguine, what have you been playing? Well, today on stream we've been jumping around between a couple of different roguelikes. We played a bit of Halls of Torment, Soulstone Survivors, and now Mega Bonk. Some very kind of different ones, the Survivors roguelike games. Reason being is I'm currently working on a game myself. That's what I've been kind of doing in my spare time, and why I haven't been streaming as well as other things. So yeah, we're kind of going through some of them, looking at some of the things that we like, that sort of thing about them, getting some inspiration, and potentially in the future, I'm going to be jumping back and streaming, and hopefully streaming a bit of development, which will be cool if I can get that all sorted and set up. But yeah, it's okay. It's good to get back in even for a few hours. Yeah, that's what I thought. I got up this morning and I was like, you know what? I should just click the button and just start stream. I haven't really had much to talk about with the game for a while because I've been going back and forwards with concepts and ideas and getting a bit anxious and overwhelmed by it all because I'll like come up with something and I'm like, this is great, and then the next day I'm like, I'm crazy, it's gonna take me too long to complete. What am I thinking? Like, so I kind of come to a bit more of a solid conclusion with that I feel better about. That's still developing, and once that's finished, that concept is developed, you know, I'll feel pretty comfortable just like starting stream development of it, because I'll know the foundations of what I want to do and not be a bit sort of like unsure about everything and then questioning my own choices and then getting unmotivated, you know. But yeah, what engine language are you making the game in? I'm currently making it in Unity in C#. That's the engine that I've worked in since I was in high school and all through uni, all through studying game development. So that's kind of just where my skills are. I did weigh up like switching to Godot and learning that because it's quite good. It's quite low, you know, low size engine. You know, I did when I was younger and in like high school use like Game Maker to make a lot of games and do some projects. I think my year 12 like IT project was just a video game in Game Maker. That showed off a whole lot of different things in animation and web design, all this other stuff. But yeah, Unity is what I started working in as soon as I left high school, went into uni, and I've been doing that for like the past 6-7 years. So yeah, Unity is the way to go for me. So working on that, I've been putting together a little prototype and stuff, and I don't think it will take me too long to get something together that I can be streaming and kind of showing some stuff off. But I think the main thing for me is figuring out, hell yeah, Sanguine. Oh yeah, I was hoping someone would redeem the put the helmet on. Bring back the coin game. Oh. Oh, the coin game. God, it took me... The coin game. I'm like thinking... You mean Make It Rain? Ugh. Oh god, the beanie, actually, taking the beanie off. Yeah. Oh, I haven't put this on for a while. The little puzzle one. Yeah, Make It Rain. So that was a game project I worked on at uni that fell through because we developed it all the way to the end and then the team changed and they scratched it and they made a whole new game in 3 weeks for PAX, and it was like one of the worst games that the uni brought to PAX. It's a long story, the Make It Rain thing, but it was called Make It Rain, as in rain, reigning like a king. And it was about you were a little sack of gold. It was very similar Binding of Isaac sort of roguelike game, but you were a sack of gold and you could shoot out gold coins, and that was like your attacks and they get upgraded. But you only have a limited supply of these gold coins because it was like your life force. It's like you're a bag of gold coins, and whenever you got hit, you drop some of these gold coins as well. It was a cool games concept. But that was one of the games I worked on at uni for a while that never got actually out there because towards the end of it, things changed around. Well, I actually left the project. I left because the team was just horrible. And we were doing all the work. And then when I left, they had to like remake a whole new game because they just couldn't finish the project that we'd been working like a whole year on. And we were like 9 months in, you know, there wasn't that much stuff to finish at all, but they couldn't like finish the design of it or figure out how things should be. So they made a game that was a, what was it? I think the hook of it was that there was a 1-bullet shooter game where you're a little dude with 1 bullet in your gun and you're versing another player, and the aim of the game is to shoot them and not miss, and you only have 1 gun, 1 bullet, which they did a really horrible job at because you could also melee in the game, so you would shoot, miss, and then just run up and melee each other until one of you died, and that was the game loop. Yeah. God, I just look at how many bev bucks I have. Do you think 57.9k is a lot? Whoa, Raider! What can you... Oh, man. Did I make something good with that? Become a VIP is what I've got to make something better than become a VIP for you. You already got earned your VIP for free. Oh. I accidentally just closed Twitch chat. Where are you? Come back. Come back. Alright. Ah. Well, maybe I should get in my adventure today as well, huh? Can't forget my adventure. Yay! Alright, nice. That's some good luck. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can show. I don't really have anything from the game yet to kind of show. Like, I've been teaching myself and getting better at pixel art at the moment. Because I'm doing... yeah, the game is going to be pixel art. Like 32 by 32 sort of bit pixel art. And so that's been a whole process. I mean, I'm not great at art. I mean, I'm okay. Pixel art's like the one thing that I know a bit more about because of the years of doing all these different games in pixel art and then having to make like UI and do the animations and do little things while someone else made all the art, you know, so I kind of understand it. But I've just been, you know, watching lots of things, teaching myself lots of stuff. We'll probably do some sessions like that as well. Some streams where I just sit here and I just draw and I just mess around and learn. Real basic, you know, I'm not good at it all, but it'll be fun. It's fun to expose myself with a lack of skill. I just need to get like a drawing tablet though. That's where I'm lacking right now. You got to teach me. I'd love to actually, because I mean I know some fundamental stuff, and you would kill at it, Poison. Like if it's you would kill at it even without, like, you already would know the fundamental stuff because it's all just normal color theory stuff that's more just, you know, related to pixels. And yeah, I can show. So I can actually show a couple of things actually, guys. So I've been doing some research and doing some stuff. One thing I did is I went outside and I filmed myself with a sword swinging and doing different things to figure out like body movement and stuff. It actually made the biggest difference ever when I'm drawing stuff now, because I can look at this reference and sometimes I'll just do a movement and then look at the frames of myself and go, okay, that's where my arm is, my arm's over here, and this sort of thing. And then I use that to do some animations of things. That's pretty cool. But what I did do is I actually took those frames, scaled them down, cut them out, and then I have little pixel art versions of me. Let's see if I can find them. Where is it? Frames. Yeah, which I thought of turning them into some emotes would be pretty funny and stuff as well. So let's just see. We do have an ad break incoming. I'm just going to let that play out. And when we get back, I can show these off. And just give me a moment to pull these up. Where is it? A sprite. There we go. Oh, we can close this. So we've got this one. Oh, I might take the helmet as well off. I'm not sure how long I'll be wearing it. But thank you for the redeem, Sanguine. It feels good to be wearing it again. Oh, where's my beanie? Three minutes of ads. Ugh, yuck. God, wish I could just turn it off. So not ideal, isn't it? No one can even hear me. Just talking to myself. Somehow I'm still here. Oh, there you go. That's good. I saw that. So let's see here. If I go... Why is it an AI footage of a guy using a computer? that does sound pretty cursed. Oh, no. Alright, let me share my screen and then should be good. Display capture. Here we are. The reveal. So what we can do though All right, ads are nearly over. Nearly over. We can open this up and that works, right? Yep, that works. Yes. All right. We should be back from ads. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope that's all over. Your AI footage of guy using computer. And now welcome to AI guy using computer 2. Well, yeah, so I thought I'd show some of this. This is kind of funny because I was trying to figure out directional stuff for a different sort of art style as well. And so I filmed all of this and then cut it up into actually all exact frames as well. So I literally have this frame by frame animation of me doing like a double swing. And I have it in every direction. I have it east, I've got north, and I've got the north one. And then we've got, you know, northeast. Every direction. I've got it in 8 directions, right? Just so I could get a bit of an idea of it. This didn't help me a lot figuring out, but what I did create out of that is this, which I think is amazing. And I mean, it's so reminiscent of like original Street Fighter, you know, where they literally just took film and frames of people doing attacks and then made them into the game character sprites. It's exactly what they did. I just took the thing and I scaled it down to like a certain pixel size where you can actually see the sort of pixels themselves. And this is like, I think this is actually like 60, this is like 96 by 96 sort of ratio of pixel art, you know? But that's pretty fun. Almost rotoscoping. Yeah, well, rotoscoping is like you take that and then you draw over it. But I did do some things like an example is outlining it. I started outlining it, right? And then going like, oh, look, I've got this outline. I didn't do it for all the frames because I kind of stopped working on this. But I was going to like rotoscope some things into there and do something like that. But if we also look, like, look at this. Look how funny this looks. Just so good. Even with the pixels in the background, I love how the environment, like, how cool is that? It just made me think about like building a whole game just using this, going and taking pictures of like buildings and stuff, converting them down, making environments of it, doing like an outline to have it make sense, I guess. Yeah, pretty cool. Then what can I show here? I love that stuff, especially when they're a bit eerie. Yeah, there was one in particular here that I'm trying to find. Maybe it was this one. Is it not this one? No, okay. One of these, there's a car in the background that goes down this road. And in the pixel version, it's just literally 1 pixel. Like 1 pixel pops up and moves across the screen. And it's just something about it is like, I know that's a car. That you know it's a car. Probably because I've seen the car before as well. But the way it moves, it's just so cool. It's such a simple little thing, and the background just looks alive. This 1 pixel slightly moving across the, you know, in the trees in the background. And let's see if I can find. I'll give you guys one little sneak peek or something that I did. I'm not 100% sure on what is it called? This one? Whether I'll actually keep with this style at all, or the character at all that I've made, but where is it? This is a little guy I did ages ago for a different sort of little game. It's all different directions. This guy. Yeah. So this is a little dude I've been working on having some fun with some pixel art stuff. And I was pretty happy with the feel of this guy. And this is after looking at a lot of the way the body sort of moves and stuff. I'm not at all happy with the walking. The walking sucks. I did that the other day, trying to just get the leg sort of movement with the shadows, but there's a hiccup in there. There's like a spot where the animation is not smooth. There's like a hiccup with I think it's in between these ones, how quickly it moves between them. But then the attack, you know, he's got this nice little swing with his axe. Pretty nice. And it feels, you know, right. This is just one direction, but yeah, you know, getting some style figured out, you know, yeah, it's adorable, isn't it? And that's why I think for this game, it's probably going to look a little bit different. It's probably going to look at a little bit more grittier colors and a bit darker, you know, a bit kind of like Diablo-y or that Halls of Torment sort of thing. Maybe I'm feeling, because this was originally putting together a character for that sort of other concept that was a bit more of a life simulator sort of thing. But yeah, we'll see. The main character is going to be some sort of, you know, herald holding guy with a flag or something like that, you know. But yeah, messing around with some things, figuring out, weighing up between top down and isometric as well, because I was doing some isometric things a while ago, and I made, like, this little character here is from an isometric game I was working on, but it's the first time I'd ever done isometric art before. And as someone who's not really great at art anyway, to get the perspective of isometric with designing like buildings and objects, it's like just, I don't even know where to start. So I was like, I should at least do top down, keep things really basic. Buildings are going to be quite small, quite sort of like, you know, yeah, kind of anime, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Like smaller versions of everything, you know. So an inn isn't just a whole huge thing. It will be like a small building that's one thing that you interact with. Very basic, you know, keep it gamey, that sort of thing. But yeah. Well, that's really it though. I don't really have anything more things to show off. I wish I did, but anything I kind of show off is just going to probably be stuff that won't even be seen anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to stick around for too much longer, guys. I'm going to jump off and make something to eat. I am starving. I'm glad I stuck around for a little bit longer. We'll be back soon. I will let everyone know in the Discord when I'm streaming next, and yeah, I don't know if I'll have like a proper schedule or ahead of time thing for it. It'll probably just be a bit random. But I know it's been like a month. It's been like 2 months since I streamed. It was a month since I moved, and I had like a month to move and everything like that. And then I just had like I wasn't streaming at all for a month. Still setting up the room, so I've still got to get all that sort of stuff set up. Get my backdrop all organized. Got some other things there in the backdrop to add to the collection. Oh, like I've got this actually. I got some new armor pieces and stuff to display on the wall, which I've actually got to go over here. I realize I got to be on this side, and then I can, yeah, there you go. That's better. But this is like a leather van brace that I made a long time ago. got some other things on the wall, some armor pieces. Maybe eventually we get a full, you know, we build up the full set, and then we have a redeem for like 10,000 points where I've just got to wear a full body of armor. Yeah, I did make this. Wait, let me put it on. It'll be a bit easier to... show off. There we go. So it's got... I'll do a stand up for everyone. So it's like an arm van brace. It's got like a wing, sort of a wing on the end of it here, which was meant to be kind of, you know, almost stabby. It's got full buckles and everything as well. It just comes off easily. This is when I was doing a lot of like leather work and stuff. Got some little rivets in there, all sewn on the sides as well, all along there. Yeah, maybe get into some more stuff like that as well. I don't know. I think that was my initial idea as well, moving here, as I wanted to maybe do some streams of some different things just other than gaming. You know, maybe we'll do like some miniature painting one day and do a bit of craft another day and a bit of art, and just change it up, do some things that are fun, because I mean, I like to game, but I also like to change things up. Things get boring over time doing the same thing. So yeah, do a bit more leather work. I was really happy with this one I did, and I dyed the leather, so these were bits of sort of like a pale sort of cream colored leather that I then dyed the two sort of things, bought buckles. I've actually got Mark 1 here as well. Here we go. This is Mark 1. This is the first version. Bit of a simpler design. Two bits, but goes around as well. You know, still would protect you in battle, that's for sure. Yeah. Back in the day of having fun with leather. And then we need to do a knitting stream as well, because look, I found it, guys. For our knitting stream, I found one half of a glove that I made, a fingerless glove, that I was quite happy with, actually. You know, simple sort of thing, but looks nice. Look at that. But I only ever made one hand. So I reckon for the knitting stream, we make the second hand. We can even wear it the whole time. Yeah. Oh, we'll get there. That's the thing. I was saying that earlier as well. All of our things, like we've got the Lotro 8-hour stream. I will get to them as well. I'm not going to just never do them. But I think in the future we won't do many reach goals like that, because it's, you know, things that I overwhelm myself with, things I don't even have the time to do. But we will complete the ones I've set out. I'm not going to not complete them. We will eventually do them someday. For sure. There you go. All right. I'm going to pop these back on the shelf quickly. I think you said Catan as well, didn't you, Raider? Can you just see Catan there? Oh, you can. You can just see Catan. Here, we'll even bring you guys a little bit lower so you can see a bit more there. Yeah, not just Catan. Three, like, if you got Catan, if you're gonna Catan, you gotta get Seafarers, Cities and Nights, baby. It's the only way to go. There you go. There's some other things up there, like the Legos. Take your time coming back to stream, you dude. It's great to have you back, but please just make sure you're taking care of yourself and all that jazz. Oh, I appreciate it, Raider, and I am. I guess I mean that's why I haven't been streaming, because I have been, I guess. And not even just looking after myself, but just doing other things. I'm just not really sure what I feel like doing, you know? Like I love this. I'd love to get on and stream and stuff, but it is a bit of like getting into my head like of, all right, I'm going to do that today. I'm going to do that today. It's like, it gets hard. And the longer that I was away from it as well, the easier it got. Like after about a month, I was like, oh, okay, it's, you know, it's been a month now sort of thing. Look, I'm not that into Catan. Man, are you playing base game Catan? Duh. God. It's just, there's only 2 mechanics, man. I actually like, what's that from? Man. Get this, I played Risk for the first time on Monday. I mean, that's good though. That's good. I think, you only need to play Risk so many times in your life. You really only need to. The 1975 edition, true, hasn't changed much since then. Yeah. Well, even all of the other versions of Risk are just exactly the same as well. It's funny. It's the Monopoly effect, right? The Monopoly effect. Yes. Yeah, maybe we do a board game stream. Make a board game. But yeah. Alright, well, with that, probably gonna jump off. Oh, I can raid someone. I haven't raided someone for so long. I wonder if there's anyone online. Damn it. I bet you there's gonna be no one online because I never streamed at this time in the past. I will say I had the best time with it. So Lord of the Ring Risk went from a that would be fun to own to mandatory. True. You do have to own some of them, you know. I have I've got a Game of Thrones Catan actually. Where is that? Probably hidden somewhere actually. Now I think about it. But I've got like a Game of Thrones one, which is just the base game. It actually adds in a mechanic, which is what's funny about it. It's not just a reprint, remask, or whatever. It's the base mechanics from Catan from the normal base game, but there's also the wall, and then the wildlings and like the White Walkers break in the wall or something. You should stop by Jeff's stream later today. Sure, yeah, I will. The wall from Game of Thrones, yeah. Yeah, it's got like the big ice wall. Yeah, sure. I'll try to stop by tonight as well. And yeah, I haven't really been hanging out in many streams lately as well. I sometimes jump in and say hi and stuff, but I just haven't even. Anytime that I feel the time to watch streams, I'm like, I should just be streaming. You haven't seen Game of Thrones? What, Raider? What are you doing? God. Go do that, yeah. Go do that. I've just been rewatching it from the start. I'd highly suggest. Have you seen Stargate? I have seen a bit of Stargate. Yeah. No, there's no excuses. I got you. I think, honestly, even just watch the first episode of Game of Thrones. Totally, just watch the first episode. First episode's so good. I think, like, I actually like. I think the first episode of Game of Thrones was my favorite episodes of the whole show. It just sets the world so nicely. That's what got me interested. I'm not a huge fan of the later seasons or anything. In fact, I'm probably one of those sort of people that is even less of a fan of the later seasons than many people, but doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. You know, I still love the show, the concepts and the worlds. And then the new shows like House of the Dragon was quite good as well, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms, that was great. Yeah, if you like fantasy, if you like medieval, it's like everything you could want out of all that, you know. But then if you don't like fantasy and medieval, I can see why you just wouldn't care about it. My one issue is when you watch it for the first time, they name drop so often, and I never knew who was who. Big true Poison. Watching it back, I mean, I watched it back a couple of times, but me and Alette have been watching it from the beginning slowly, and after knowing a bit about all the characters, looking at like family trees and stuff, it's so much more enjoyable knowing how everything works. Like being like, oh wait, that character's this, and that's why that character's the heir to the throne, and you're like, So I think but it's hard because you don't want to look things up because then you might get spoiled with stuff. So it's annoying. And even family trees can be annoying because they can show like, you know, births and deaths and that sort of thing, right, on a family tree. So yeah. Yeah, keep a notebook and write everyone's... Actually, Raider, that is a brilliant idea. Genuinely, because then you're not spoiling yourself looking things up with family trees. It's all in there. You just forget it really easily. So if you just note it down, like you're like, oh, this person's sister is this, and then suddenly it's just all, like... Because that's actually what's a lot of fun about it, really. Especially at the beginning of Game of Thrones, when that story starts. It's right when, like, all of these different families are conflicting over the throne, essentially, because it's like there's been rebellions and there's been, you know, children that have been born that are the split between different of the, you know, the different areas and different factions or whatever you call them. Yeah. So it's a really interesting point if you kind of are like, you kind of get into the family stuff. It actually works and makes sense and it's fun. It's not just there to give it enjoyment, you know. It's actually quite important to it all. It's more rewarding when you figure things out like that and you just see the connections of things and yeah, and how all the different families are tied together, how, like, you know, the Targaryens and the Lannisters and the Baratheons. I think for me that was a big part, is like, you know, the Lannisters and the Baratheons and their involvement with the fact that it's like they're all part of the kingdom now, and like, you know, they're all, you know, it's not really based in their homelands that much, but they're in lots of other places because they've been the ones in the rebellions and they've been the ones that taken the throne and they've been the ones that, you know, this and that and whatever. Everyone has a nickname, a legal name and family name, yeah. We're getting so sidetracked. When you're going for lunch, I am going to go for lunch. I know, I'm just sidetracking myself because I don't really want to stop stream. But I will jump off. But really nice to just click the button, have a chat with everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I will take care of myself. I really appreciate Radar just saying that as well, man, because, you know, I've missed it all so much as well. But I'm not letting that like get to me as well or anything like that. I've just been taking some nice time to do my own thing, and, you know, life as a dad is very different as well. So it's kind of that's the joy of life, really. I would highly suggest for anyone thinking of purchasing that DLC. Yep, we're definitely worth it. You get a lot of hours out of it. You actually lose a lot of your own hours as well. But yeah, I won't get into that. So yeah. It's good. It's good. 10 out of 10. Yep. Have a baby. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look on Twitch to see who is around. Let's have a look on Lord of the Rings Online. See if there's any new. I'm trying. I need to find me a girlfriend first. Look, that's a very important first step. I think, honestly, Rhea, you definitely you're right on the ball with that. You're definitely. Yeah. Um, um, all right. Yeah, I don't know who to raid into. Raid. You know what? I don't even think I'll be able to raid into. That's right. We're just gonna leave it anyway because it will take me too long to find something to raid into, and I'm slowly like melting because of realizing how hungry I am. You know, when you do that, you start staring at things and you're like, "I'm hungry," and then you just don't get up. All right, try baking some bread. That's how I got one. Ooh, yeah, bake some bread. I can't bake. We'll do. Maybe we got to do baking stream. You can bake. You can do it. I believe in you, Raider. I believe in you. Make a bake a bake bake a cake. If it makes you crazy. Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Mm, I was gonna find. Oh, you know what? I got it. Forgot I had this. Where is VLC? We don't need Spotify when we have our own little music. That's something else I've been doing as well. I've been doing a little bit of music writing as well in spare time. So, yeah, might do just a bit of that. Where is stream music? Let me go this one. Let me unmute it. Let's see. Oh yeah. All right. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out. It was fun. Nice to catch up with you all. And we'll be back real soon for some other things. Who knows what it will be. But we'll be back. But thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you all. And I hope you're all well and stay well. And I'll see you all next time. Alright then, guys. See ya. See ya, Raider, and see ya, Poison. Bye.